In this episode of Unboxing with a Rocket Scientist, we're going to take a look at the kit called the Andromeda, which is this right here, from Klima Rockets, and it's imported from Germany into the United States by Apogee Components. So stand by right after this.
There are many unboxing videos for model rockets, but wouldn't you like a real rocket scientist's opinion of the materials and parts in the kit? Today you'll actually find out the inside information so that you know what to look for when you get a rocket kit.
Hi, I'm Tim Van Milligan from Apogee Components. Yes, I am a real rocket scientist. Today we're going to be looking at the Andromeda kit, and this comes from Germany, and my first impression of it is, man, this is in a plastic container, which is really cool, and it's got this nice four-color front card on the front so you can see what the rocket's going to look like when you get it. And then on the inside of that you have all the parts listed right here so you can check to make sure that everything is in the box. So as we open this up, the first thing that pops out are the fins. Now these fins, there's a couple of unique things about them. First, they're made out of 6 layers of plywood, so each layer adds a little bit of strength, and since there's 6 of them, these are really strong. The nice thing about them is they're also nice and straight. That extra layers of ply really keeps them from warping. As you can see from here, these are pre-cut out, but they're cut out using a CNC router machine. So it's not a laser cutter, and it's not cut out by a bandsaw, so it's really nice and smooth, and there's no burnt edges on it. The one unique thing about it is the router bit, you can tell how big in diameter the bit was because it can't make a nice sharp corner, so they have to actually come in a little bit and then go that way. So that's the kind of unique thing about the fins. They kind of have a unique shape. Because they're swept back, the rocket will be able to stand upright on its own, so you actually don't need a display stand for this rocket kit. Also in the box, we have a really nice parachute. This is a ripstop nylon parachute with polyester lines. They're sewed on pretty nice. Klima actually sews their little tag on there too. And what's unique about this is there's no seam along the edge, so when they cut these out, it's actually a hot knife that actually melts its way through the fabric, and that when it melts it just seals that edge really nice. So that's the parachute. It's got 6 suspension lines on it. It's 55 centimeters in diameter, which is around 21 to 22 inches, somewhere in there. Also in the kit we have a couple of body tubes. And a coupler. Nothing really unique about the coupler. It's craft paper. The body tubes are nice craft paper with a white outer wrap, and it's slotted for the fins, so the fins will go through the tube. It's called through the wall fins, and it gives you extra gluing area so that your fins won't snap off on a hard landing. And the nice thing about this, again, is it's not laser cut. These are actually punched through, so the edges on those slots are really nice and crisp. Really like that. That's a nice little feature that they have there. They have a plastic nose cone. As you can see, they've wrapped it in cellophane to kind of protect it, because it's pretty shiny. I don't know why they really need the cellophane. Maybe it's to protect the tube, but it's got a nice strong loop on the back for tying your shock cord onto it. Nice long shoulder, and it fits really nice into the tube. So that's their plastic nose cone, and I'm pretty sure it's polystyrene, high impact polystyrene, because you can paint to it and it accepts paint well, and paint's not going to flake off. We also have engine mount tubes. This is a 4-cluster rocket engine. I got one over here, and you can see right down in here it has 4 engines, and these are the engine tubes. These are also craft paper. One of the things that I noticed about these is that the motor is a little bit more snug than on a typical Apogee kit. The one thing I had a difficulty on is pulling the motors out, because they don't just fall out. You actually got to grab the motor and just kind of force it out. The motor's not going to get stuck in there. Just, believe me on that. It's because there's 4 of them, you got to kind of wiggle them around and pull them out. If you have a pair of pliers, that kind of helps to pull them out. They go in easy. It's just getting them out was I found a little harder. These are the instructions. Klima does a really good job on the instructions. These are multilingual instructions. So we have English, German, Spanish, and Italian, because they're from Germany. They have to do all the EU nations. They're 4-color, really nicely illustrated. The only kind of downside the instruction is here in the United States, we have to do clusters different from how they do them in Europe. In Europe, they're using a wick system to ignite them all. In the United States, we don't use wicks because of safety concerns. So they don't tell you how to set up the cluster using regular igniters. But we have a video on the Apogee website that we can link to from here that will show you how to set up clusters so you get all 4 motors to ignite at once. Also in here we have our decals. Now these are printed on clear sticky paper, so they're easy to put on. You just peel them up and stick them down on your rocket. Nothing fancy there. It's pretty good quality, like that. And then in this bag we have all the little parts. So let's pull that out and see what we got inside of here. So first, this kit has an ejection baffle. And the baffle, what it does is it protects the parachute, so you don't necessarily need to use wadding. It doesn't hurt to use wadding. It's, adding wadding to protect the parachute, gives you extra protection. But this will do most of that work for you. And I can kind of dry assemble it here. Oops, got it backwards. This is going to be the ejection baffle, and this is inserted into this tube. And what it does, there's these plates right here, and what it does is it kind of forces the ejection charge path to wind in and out like a snake through this little labyrinth. So this is going to go inside of there like that. So when it goes in, the ejection charge has to go through this way, come around the corner, go this way, come around another corner, this way, come around one more corner, and then come out. And all that zigzagging slows it down, allows it to cool just enough to keep the parachute from being melted. And most importantly, what it does is it traps any burning particles. Because when the ejection charge goes off, there's a big old fireball that comes through, and lots of little like sparks that want to come through and melt holes in your parachute. And this traps them all so they don't get to the parachute. And the nice thing about this is you can kind of wiggle it around, and those little particles are going to fall out, so you can actually get them out of your rocket. So when you shake your rocket, it doesn't rattle like a baby rattle. Okay, so also in here we have the centering rings, and now these are some really unique centering rings. I don't know if you can see these, but these are also cut with the router, and it's kind of 3-dimensional. So now this ring is 2-dimensional, so it's just got a flat side and then holes that go all the way through. Now the other one, these circles right here don't go all the way through, and that's kind of unique because it's going to hold the motor tubes like this, and it prevents the rocket motor from actually going through into the rocket. And so these are kind of like your engine blocks, and they're built into the centering ring, which is a really cool idea. And really the only way to get that is to have some kind of system that cuts at a variable depth into the wood. And you can tell this wood is very thick compared to even the fin wood. And the reason for that is so that they could do a variable depth routing process right here. So these are really cool centering rings. We also have a 1/4-inch launch rod. So this is going to launch off of a mid-power pad. You probably want a 4 or 5 foot long launch rod with this 1/4-inch in diameter, so that this is a heavier rocket, especially with 4 rocket motors in it. So you need to have a little bit longer length so that it builds up enough speed so that by the time it reaches the end of the launch rod, it's going fast enough to where the fins can take over and stabilize it completely. We have the shock cord here, and it's a two-piece system, so we have a really thick, heavy Kevlar cord, and this is really tightly braided. It's not a tubular system because it has a core in it right here. And then you have a rubber bungee cord, and so this, gives you the stretch to prevent a zipper. Although this rocket actually doesn't need it because it's a zipperless design, which I'll explain here in just a second. But it gives you a little extra protection on the ejection charge, allowing the front end to slow down. They give you a little tool right here. This is to help, once you get your engine mount built, you need to get it rotated correctly into the tube so that your fins can go in without hitting one of the tubes. And so once you assemble your engine mount, it slides in, and then this is a little tool to help make sure that it's indexed correctly in the right location. So it's always going to have straight fins, and the fins are going to go all the way in instead of hitting one of the engine mount tubes off to one side. So I always like it when rocket kits come with building tools, because then you know that they've gone through the mental process of what is the customer going to experience. And this kind of thing makes all the difference in the world. I really like the quality of that. There's some little hardware bits right here. These are to hold the rocket engine in. If you look on the back end of the rocket, I don't know if you can see this because it's very small, but we have this screw comes out the back of the rocket, and then there's two nuts and a washer that screw onto that. So when you drop your motors in, you'll pull the nuts and the washers off, put the motors in, then put the washer on, and then the nuts to hold the washer on, and that captures all the rocket motors so that they can't come out. So that's your engine retention method. And now, like I said, this rocket is a mid-body separation, so the parachute is in this side. The nose cone is actually glued on. So it comes apart like this. The parachute will be attached right here. And this is designed to prevent zippers, because now when it stretches out, you usually get a zipper in the bottom tube, and because of this bulkhead right here, you can't start a zipper. So having that bungee cord is really like overkill, because it's pretty much a zipperless design from the get-go. So let me put this back together. This is the Andromeda rocket kit. And again, it's from Klima. We import it from Germany, where it's manufactured. Let me turn it this way. You're going to find it at Apogee Components. Our web address is www.apogeerockets.com.